guys, welcome to Cult Film and Review, the podcast where we discuss the films you love but no one else gets, and we see if they still hold up. Tonight, breaking up is hard to do, and so is killing yourself. Because we're talking about Better Off Dead. So let's start the show. Hey guys, thanks for joining the cult. We really appreciate it. Do us a favor, head over to iTunes, leave us a review. We will give you a shout out at the end of the show. Then when you're done with that, head over to cultfilmandreview.com. Make sure you put in your request for films for us to review. And then on July 5th, hard ticket to Hawaii at Phoenix Film Bar. Make sure you come out for that. Should be a really, really good time. And they can get tickets where, Chris?
thefilmbarphx.com.
That is correct. All right, guys, and then next Thursday, make sure you follow us on YouTube because we are going to be going live to talk about Better Off Dead. So make sure you join us next week on YouTube for that. We will have stuff up all over social media to where you can jump on board with that. And then talk to us about the film and tell us your favorite things about it and what you didn't like. Actually, it will be with Kyle, Professor Kyle Smith. PhD.
Wait, when did I get a PhD?
In sound, okay? He is the owner of Bluefield Audio.
I don't know why we guys still push that one.
Because it's one of my favorite things ever. Go back to episode 1.
I'm just going to turn, you know what? Just to spite you, I'm going to turn that into a thing.
As always, I am joined by Kyle Smith.
The professor is here.
He's in.
I loved it. Chris Olmbrecht.
Hey, what's up?
What if Chris is like, yeah, the general. And Michael Salustio.
Hello, everybody.
He's just like, yeah, the barista. I don't know.
What?
What's the barista?
Yeah.
That's
the friendly
below.
neighborhood filmmaker.
I know, but back in the day, he used to make so much coffee. He used to make so much coffee.
What?
Did you?
Yeah,
Did you
you
ever make
did.
coffee?
Yeah,
The
you
first
used to
fucking
make-
2 years of this podcast?
You
No,
used to
you
have,
worked at
like,
the track, didn't you?
No, but he's not working anywhere. It's
No.
his personal
Here.
in his house. He has every instrument of coffee creation.
He was always creating
Still do.
coffee.
I still do.
Yeah, he was creating coffee, which makes him a barista.
Yeah, it makes him a barista.
I
Keep
could-
up, guys.
I could do
Personal.
more
This is
coffee.
personal jokes.
It's
That no one
even deep
gets.
for me. It's a deep cut.
All right, guys. Tonight we're talking about Better Off Dead. It was directed by Savage Steve Holland. It was also written by him. Came out in 1985. Made $10 million in the box office. Is sitting at a PG rating and currently sits at a 76% on Rotten Tomatoes. Is that correct? Audience score?
Yep.
There was no critic score for this?
No, there's got to be critic score. He probably just didn't update that.
I don't know.
Audience score was
For
from
all
last
we know,
week.
this was the last, yeah.
Yeah.
Audience, yeah, all this
I know,
data,
Yeah.
all this data is from last week.
No,
It was
Hard Bodies-
directed by Steven Spielberg. And
Hard Bodies definitely did not have a 76 rating.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah,
yeah.
we'll just go with that.
audience, though, maybe.
No.
What? We can put an end to this. Let's hear. Well, you just want to know what the audience rating is on this?
Oh, we usually just put what the regular one is. Last week we put audience because there was no regular.
Okay, I just think that
I think that it said 75% on Wikipedia. It said 76% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I'm just going to go.
76% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. It has a rating of PG and currently sits at a 76% on Rotten Tomatoes. This was Kyle's pick. Kyle, why did you pick this movie? Was it so that I could introduce it and frustrate the shit out of Chris?
Yeah, I mean, when I picked out the title, I said Cody's gonna fuck this intro way up.
Yeah.
Ooh, this will be fun.
Yeah, this will be fun for everyone. I picked this movie, so I Brother Ryan is the one that showed this movie to me. He introduced me to this film, and even at a young age when I saw it, young age. I mean, it was probably in my early teens, 13, 14 or something. Like, I thought the movie was hilarious, but like really off the wall and weird. And I just certain things that stuck with me, like weird jokes and like the there's a scene where the burger comes to life and is playing Van Halen. And it's a claymation burger, and it's just like it's such a wild film, and I've always loved it. And I thought, you just picked Hard Bodies in the '80s, sex comedy. This is more of just an '80s dark comedy, and I just kind of wanted to stay in that world, I guess.
Stay in the 80s comedy world.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, when did you see Better Off Dead?
you assume that I saw it.
Yeah.
I've never seen this film in its entirety.
Shut the front door.
Jesus Christ. Of all the films.
Yeah. I feel like this one is good. This
You
is
saw Hard Bodies before this.
Yeah, this is like a really fucking popular film. That's why I'm blown
It's
away
like
by this.
mildly popular. Can we not pretend like this is John Cusack's most popular film?
It's mildly popular.
Yeah.
You're right. I would say that.
I'd say it's pretty
It's not
popular.
uncommon for me to not have seen this film,
No,
I think.
it isn't uncommon.
All right,
apparently.
but anyways, yeah, now I'd seen bits and pieces of it. I'd never seen it in its entirety, so this will be the first time I've watched it from start to finish, from credits to credits. I don't know.
From credits to credits.
Credits to credits. with credits to credits with Mike Salusi.
I already know this answer. That's why I'm shocked, Mike, because you don't know this answer. Chris, when was the first time that you saw Better Off Dead?
Why would I know that answer?
Chris?
This is also my first time seeing this movie. And he was shocked that it was my first time as well.
When Chris told me it was his first time earlier today, I also was like, what?
So you must think this is like a quintessential movie that most people have seen.
Yes.
I guess I wasn't under that assumption so much.
I'm not really under that assumption
I
either.
remember seeing it at the video store, so I'm familiar with the cover art, but like I never thought it was like I knew it was like it intermixed in the 80s teen, I guess comedies, high school comedies. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I felt like it was not one of like the more popular John
I always
Hughes
thought this
ones.
was like the meant to be like, this is like in a lot of people's probably, I'd say top 5 80s teen movies.
I mean, it is for me,
Yeah.
but I've seen it so many times.
I'd say for a lot of people it is. I've seen this movie probably about 4 times.
When was the first time you saw it?
Google says this is his 7th most popular movie, and that's behind 1408.
1408 wasn't that bad. Watch it again.
I'm not saying it was bad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that it's more well known than Better Off Dead according to Google.
Yeah.
Google
Google knows everything.
It's definitely in his top 10. I would say it is in Cusack's top 10, of course, because if you go back and look at his catalog, there's maybe like 10 movies that are really good, in that whole catalog.
You might have to revisit his catalog.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good actor.
I'm
He's
not.
a
I'm
pretty
just
good
saying
actor,
as far as like
You ever seen Identity,
pretty
bro?
well-known stuff.
Guys, Serendipity comes before this one.
Well, Serendipity was a huge movie.
That was a huge movie.
Huge movie.
Huge movie.
Huge.
It was?
Yeah.
Serendipity?
Yeah.
It just feels like it was like one of those
No.
That was a huge movie.
a
Huge.
sea of romantic comedies. That
And
was
that
like
was- and that
right
one-
in the middle. It was a buoy out there.
No.
It wasn't
Buoy.
it wasn't a boat.
It wasn't a buoy. It was a cruise ship.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Taking the hearts and dreams of everyone with it.
John Bowie.
It is more well known than Being John Malkovich, though, which is a
That's
good
a feat.
movie.
That
A
is a
good
feat.
movie.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty shocked that that you guys never saw this movie. It's weird to me, just because this is number one. It is a weird zany comedy, and you know what I mean. So it's odd that it was never shown to you or it was ever talked about.
Well, I guess, yeah. Who was showing 80s teen comedies?
I mean,
around?
I would think my brother Ryan would have talked to you about this at
Really?
some point.
I think I saw that. I'm pretty sure I saw this on like TV,
Yeah.
like HBO or one of those several times.
A lot of this shit
That's where I've
blends
seen
in when it
the
comes to
pieces of
TV
it,
for
yeah.
me. When it comes to like Cusack titles, I feel like a lot of it kind of blends.
all the Cusack titles blend together for you.
This era.
You like say anything in this movie, you can't tell the
Not
difference.
Anything alike.
Yeah, I know they're not, but Chris can't tell the difference.
I don't know why.
All he sees is Cusack. Can't see
That's
anything
all I
past
see.
that. Can't see Lane. He can't see Lane.
He doesn't see Lane for who he
Lane.
really
He doesn't
is.
see Lane. He just sees Cusack. Let's do this, guys. Let's get to plots with Mike, so we know what this movie's about. I think that's important.
Yeah.
So it's time for plots with Mike.
All right, as you said, it stars a man. It doesn't star him. It actually is his life because actors play characters. A guy named Lane.
Oh shit, dude! Actors play characters.
Damn.
And
might
he
be
just
the-
got broken up with by his girlfriend, one who he worships. He's got mannequins of her. He's got like a hair doll or something like that. I don't know what he's got back there. He's got a lot. He's obsessed. She dumps him for a more popular guy when he gets shown up on the slopes of the old K-12. Well, not quite the K-12. I don't know what you call that.
That's the slalom.
That's the slalom?
Yeah, he was doing a slalom.
I don't know the
course.
name of the mountain.
We'll call it, the mountain is just, we're just going to call it K-12.
But it was infamous.
It was destiny.
Infamous in this neighborhood. And he gets shown up, the girl leaves him, and he decides that he's gonna just basically obsess over it to the point where he decides he wants to kill himself. And then it just kind of keeps going on doing that for a while. He just kind of walks around and mopes. But all the whole time, a beautiful French exchange student has moved in next door. And if she could only get his attention, guys.
Sparks.
Does she?
It's hard out there.
We'll find out soon on Cool Film Review.
With that being said, let's take a break. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about Better Off Dead. And we're back talking about Better Off Dead. This was Kyle's pick. 2 people in the room haven't seen it. Everyone's shocked.
No, I mean, I saw it before the show.
Yeah, before the show.
So you know.
Yeah. Don't think if
And
you
that's if you're just tuning in, we get 2 guys that have seen a movie and 2 guys that haven't.
and we have them talk about it.
And you got to figure out which one haven't.
Lane, that name doesn't sound familiar to me.
Yeah, did you sure you watched the same movie?
So Lane, John Cusack, he wakes up in bed and he gets ready for the day. And so it's funny because first time I saw this movie, and I don't know how you guys felt. Did you think the breakup already happened when it first opens? I want to talk to the first timers on this because I thought of like looking at the picture and then getting in the shower in the socks was a sign of depression. Getting into the shower with socks
I just
on.
took it as yet another 80s physical comedy joke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like that happened a lot in the 80s.
I agree.
I do want to say real quick,
Jump in there.
because this movie has a trope of the 80s that I absolutely love, which is the animated intro.
Animated credits, yeah.
Correct.
I fucking loved it in this one. It was really it was funny, but this time watching it, I was like, oh, they basically kind of like spell out a little bit of the film.
Yeah, and
you.
it goes with his drawings that he does throughout the movie, which is not like super bad. It's not dicks. It's
not dicks.
Yeah,
Not
it's
dicks.
a monster.
It's a monster that eats his ex-girlfriend, which we'll get to here, Beth, in a little bit.
But no, I never thought that the breakup already happened. I just thought like, wow, this guy's really obsessed. Like, I hope this is his girlfriend.
Yep.
I did have I thought the breakup already happened, and then when it goes into his closet and her pictures are on like all of his hangers and it looks like she's wearing every one of his outfits.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I was like, okay, no, they're still together. But I was like, that's so fucking funny.
Can I say something? So, as somebody who hasn't seen the film before and had no idea what was going on,
Yeah.
The first thing I thought was a movie called Better Off Dead, and there's all these pictures of this girl, and I'm like, oh, dude, he's gonna like kill this girl. Like, I thought he was a serial killer. I was like, oh, this is fucking cool already.
It's definitely serial killer activity going on here. And
I'm obsessed with this girl.
I was thinking, like, man, no matter how obsessed my kid was, I would be seriously concerned if they had thousands of photos pinned up and hangers that have the heads of his girlfriend wearing every outfit that he owns.
I feel like it would be alarming to any other parent except for his parents in this movie, which are
good point.
Like set up like the mom is just I don't know where she's
on outer space, dude.
She's fucking she's out there. I love these parents. They're like they're I think some of the best characters.
I
in this
love
movie.
Dad just trying to connect to Lane so hard.
Yeah.
But he also has this weird thing with there's this story with the garage door and the dad that takes place in this because basically it starts with the movie starts with the whole house basically waking up and Lane getting ready for the ski tryout.
Yeah,
because he's trying out for the ski team because skiing in the 80s was a thing.
Yeah,
very very much so.
Yeah.
Like was this like one of the first in like the ski movies too? I wonder if this is. Because skiing was like
I don't know other ski movies.
Skiing was like a heavy theme, I feel like, throughout the 80s.
I don't know, man. I could have swore I just saw a movie that took place in it was like a 70s movie about
they didn't have
skis.
Like a ski resort.
Cody, they really didn't have like the X Games weren't really established by now. So you had to go with skiing or, badminton.
It's just a weird.
They pick skiing.
It's just a weird, it's a weird. They didn't pick like a typical
Lacrosse
high school.
Was a big one
high
in the
school
80s,
sport.
right?
I think that I see what you're saying, but I think yes, I think skiing was much more popular at this time.
It wasn't like the swim team.
See, we know now everything's like snowboarding, like that's the cool thing. But keep in mind that if there was a snowboarder were to go on that slope back in the 80s, you'd be like, you're missing one, buddy.
Well, on Ranker, it is #1 top-rated ski movie of the 80s.
Jesus, what are other ski movies?
Yeah, the other ski
Hot Dog, the movie, Ski
Dog.
School, Aspen Extreme Ski Patrol, Out Cold, Hot Tub Time Machine's considered a ski movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but how many are from the 80s?
These are not all of these are from the 80s, but a lot of them are. Yeah, at least the top ones.
So this is the top ski movie.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
it's the top ski
There hasn't
movie.
been a lot of ski movies.
We haven't not reviewed a ski movie. This is our first ski movie that
It's
we're reviewing.
exciting. We're treading new ground.
It
We're
is.
hitting-
It is
Feels
unique.
very granular.
Yeah. It's a very niche
It's a niche of a niche.
genre.
Of cult
Yeah.
film.
It is.
But I would have to say this is probably the number one ski movie. I'd have to agree with that on Ranker. I'm not gonna.
But-
I think this is the number one movie
What?
on
of the 80s.
on Ranker.
She was making it sound like at the beginning of the show, like who doesn't know this film? Oh my god!
I mean, I said, "Oh my god," too. You
did
guys
say,
didn't know
"Oh
this
my God,"
movie.
too.
All right, cool,
What's
man.
wrong
I,
with
don't
you
just
guys?
don't- I just don't think this is the same. It's not like I haven't seen Titanic or something like that.
Oh, no one cares about that.
No one cares about that.
I didn't know
Everybody
we were
cares.
dipping into a ski movie, though. I didn't know that's what this would revolve around.
But there's like not a lot of skiing in
Yeah,
it.
there's not. It's
not.
really the skiing just acts as like a catalyst, you know,
Yeah.
for like losing the girlfriend and then getting back his pride.
It's all about the breakup, really.
Yeah.
At that point. But you get to see the family. The family wakes up and like the first thing the dad hears is the spokes of the paperboy coming down the road, and he's like makes a mad dash to get the garage door up because all the windows have been broken out except for like two
Except, yeah.
by this kid who is delivering papers, and he's in his wife's gown and he gets it up. But then of course, like this movie does a lot of like, I feel like it has like a lot of slapstick gag
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
kind of
for
stuff
sure.
thrown into it, which this is like the first one where the garage door just falls down and the glass shatters and the dad makes a what
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
face.
when this is around the time that I also started realizing like this is weird. Like all the visuals in this are
Yeah.
really over the top. They're like this. I was like, it's like a cartoon. So immediately I looked up to see if an animator had directed this.
Yeah.
And I was right. Like Savage Steve Holland, he ended up doing like Eat the Cat, like
wow.
Rocko's Modern Life, I think, or
Yeah.
something like
Wow.
that.
Hell yeah.
He did like a ton. He also did the whammy, the monster thingy for the whammy.
Pure Luck?
Burger?
What's it called?
Press Your Luck, I mean?
Pressure Luck, right?
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Like he did
Got
all
it.
this animation, and I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Like
Eat
this
the Cat-
feels like it's shot
Hell yeah. I like that.
like how cartoons are shot,
Yeah,
right?
it
Like there's
does.
ancillary like gags
Yeah.
that go on in the story
Yes.
that have nothing to do with it. They don't further the plot in
No.
any way.
His brother is one of those characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't further the plot anyways. Just has weird gags throughout the movie.
Yeah, his brother's obsessed with filling out the coupons in the back of cereal boxes and sending them away for free shit.
and then turning them into real shit.
And then like he gets the laser gun and then he's like in his bedroom modifying it to shoot real lasers.
Yeah.
It's just it does. That's when
That's
you start noticing you're in this cartoonish, like somewhat of a cartoonish world. Because at first you do kind of take it as like a serious, because you don't know. You know, you're going into it. You don't really know.
I had no idea
Yeah.
about that, but I think that actually puts it in because the whole time I was watching this movie, I was when these larger than life kind of fantasy things would happen, you know, I was like, what the fuck? Like it's kind of bordering like, am I supposed to believe that he's either going crazy, he's hallucinating, or that there's some kind of like weird fantastical element to this, like unrealistic element, things moving on their own.
I always
You
took
know.
it as his imagination just running wild, and then
Yeah.
he would act out these scenarios in his head, and it would basically come to fruition because he's doing it.
I thought that too, but then
Yeah.
it was when it started happening to other people when he wasn't there,
Yeah.
and that other people were witnessing it. Like when with the two Asian guys that keep racing him,
Yeah.
at one point in time, he gives the whole backstory to the girl that's sitting next to him.
Yeah.
He's just like, yeah, one guy only learned because he watched the Wild War of Sports, and the other guy doesn't speak a lick of English. So
Right.
that's why this goofy gag is happening.
Yeah.
He's like, everything in this film is presented as reality.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right though. It's just a larger than life way of telling a story that definitely comes from an animator's mind, and I appreciate it because it added all these extra little gags and elements. And what's cool is the director, like, at no point do they let any of the setups like go unfinished. You know, like there's little things that they don't do a lot of long setups, but the one especially with his brother, like with the space shuttle,
The
build
rocket.
your own rocket out of household stuff, like that one they find a way to tie that one up at the very end as well.
Yeah.
Like so it was fun because if you're paying attention on your second or couple watches, if you don't catch it all, then you're looking for all these gags to play out.
So, his dad also mentions that he's obsessed with his girlfriend, Beth. So we find that out. And we also find out that he's got a car just sitting in the front, yard that his dad absolutely hates.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I'm remembering the scene that they're at breakfast. It's like, what is breakfast? It's bacon. Like, I could see that, but what did you do to it? Said you don't like grease, so I boiled it. It's like all green and shit.
That literally grossed me out.
Dude,
It really did.
looking.
Yeah.
The dad's deadpan reaction to the wife's cooking is like, it just got me this whole fucking movie.
Like moldy ass meat.
The wife, and can I say something about the wife? Like, the wife really, at first when I didn't realize this was like a cartoony kind of thing, immediately I was like, dude, like, she's crazy, right? Like,
Yeah.
like, why isn't anybody taking care of her?
Yeah.
Like, they're yelling at her for doing crazy shit.
You like raisins.
Yeah. They play her like she's like she's like she's completely has nothing in her head.
She looks real shaken up all the time to me.
Yeah, like it's kind of like the mom in American Beauty, but like if she was a cartoon, which kind of was like, that's fucking weird, man. I don't know if I should cry or laugh or.
She's in her own world.
She's probably, if I have to pick a least favorite character, she's one of my least favorite.
Really?
The mom?
Yeah.
Really?
And it's not because, and it's kind of because of like what he said. There's really no substance to her, and there's only one scene that she's in, two scenes that she's in that kill me, and I feel like they're not because of her. She's in them, but it's not because of her.
No, it's her actions. This is the other scene with dinner, and the dad's in the middle of talking, and he just stops, and his eyes just dart to like the slime coming out of the fucking pot of food. She's like, I would say like the magazine article got wet and the pages ran together, so I just had to make up the rest of it with my own creativity.
Are you saying you didn't like that scene?
Dinner? No, I like that scene.
Oh,
and
okay.
Dinner and the first suicide attempt.
Oh, when she's vacuuming?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or like
great.
that scene is so goddamn funny.
It is
But
funny.
I think that the reason I like her character for those scenes is like for the vacuuming one, it's like she's kind of just clueless to what's going on. She's like she's totally in her own fucking world.
Yeah. His parents are clueless to what's going on. They never punish him or talk to him about it or anything. It's hilarious.
I will say something so when the suicide scene, the first suicide scene. Okay, so like it's the mom, she's vacuuming and stuff like that, and he decides maybe I want to kill myself, and then he does this real weird thing where he's like contemplating, like, this is death. Is this really worth it?
Yeah.
And
He's
his
about
mom
to not
hit
go
it.
through with it.
This was the point in time in the film where I was like, I hope this isn't a really dark comedy, because the next scene's going to be that this mother has to live with the fact that she killed her son.
Jesus, that would have been a real dark
Like
film.
immediately, I'm like watching it, and I'm like, are they going to show this guy slowly but surely die
Maybe
on
he's a
this
ghost.
rope, and the mother
Yeah.
never notices? This is the saddest thing I've ever seen. Oh, it's a joke. That's funny. That's really funny.
I thought
you
it was
went through so
seriously-
many waves in this film, so many emotional.
It was because I didn't know what to expect really at first.
Exactly.
Like there was points where I was just like, I don't know where this is going. I hope it doesn't go where I think it's going, because I'm in for a very different film.
That's why I was thinking he was gonna die by hanging in that moment. He was gonna come back to life as like a ghost or an undead.
That's what I thought too. Like he'd be in
character
heaven or something.
Come back as a zombie, better off dead.
Something like that.
Okay.
You know, like I thought it was gonna go with that
No,
type
I
of
can see that.
direction.
I can see that, but it doesn't.
Nope, it sure don't.
No, because
Yeah.
what happens is he goes to these ski tryouts with his girlfriend Beth and his best friend Badger, and
He
he's-
apparently threw up last time because he got nervous.
Totally
Yeah.
unaware that his girlfriend is in love with this other skier.
she's not in love with him. She dumps him because she needs to date more popular people.
Yeah. She makes a business decision.
She
I
really
guess
does.
that's true. It's a reputation thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
and he can skate the K-12. He's the only one who's
Yeah.
lived to talk about it.
So yeah, clearly she's shallow and only dating
Yeah.
men for whatever I guess her personal gain is. Beth.
So Beth is there and she's going to break up with Lane, and he does not know it, and Lane's trying to make the team. He has to make his run in under 58 seconds. He does it in a minute, so he does not make the team.
I also feel like that dude clicked that stopwatch
Yeah.
a little
See,
fucking
Can
late.
I say something?
I watched
That's
it. I watched
what
it
I think.
twice, and he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No.
He can't. He went past the line, and then he watched him ski to a stop, and then, just
That's
late.
what I'm saying. I think what I took from that scene is exactly what you took.
Yeah.
That he knew that he beat him.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I'll just fucking click it a little late. What are they going to do? I'm the most popular kid in school.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's I think exactly what happened.
So this is high school, right?
Yes, and he's about 40.
Can I just say that I had a hard time buying that even John Cusack was in high school?
Dude, it gets
Yeah.
really bad if you go back and watch the dance scene and look at the extras. like
60-year-old
there are
men.
some real old looking guys like chatting it up with
Dude,
ladies.
no,
I'm just like, what school is this?
Listen, you guys, that's high school in the 80s. That was high school in the 80s.
High school
dude.
in the 80s. Everyone was 40.
Everybody was on roids. Everybody was roiding out. Roids were real big.
Yeah, is that
I
what
don't
it
have
is?
anything to do with roids.
Yeah,
You know what? I do want to say
Looking
something.
weathered doesn't have to do with
Is it also? Is
roids.
it just me though? Like, have you ever done this about 80s films? Because I thought the same thing. Like, oh, they must have always used like 35-year-olds when they did it.
Yeah.
But have you ever watched one and then you look and the person actually is 15, and then you think to yourself like, what were they putting in the water in the 80s?
Yeah, what's that guy's life been
Like,
like
it's
up
so
to
weird.
now?
Like when we watched Garbage Pail Kids,
Tangerine.
Tangerine was like, I thought that kid was like 10, and Tangerine was like 25.
Yeah.
But they're the same age, like 15.
Yeah.
Wow.
So weird.
Yeah,
It's very-
Anyways,
just
I don't know.
Just found a real young 15 kid for that one. I
Like
guess.
we need a 15-year-old, but like not somebody that looks 15.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Somebody
he
looks
needs
like
to be 15,
25.
but like he hasn't quite sprouted yet.
It's just, yeah, I would agree with that. But so he does not make the team, and on the way home, what happens?
Yeah,
Beth
he gets dumped. He gets dumped on the drive home,
Beth breaks up with him
Mhm.
on
Yeah.
the way fucking home.
and then he comes in the house, and this is a funny part with the mom. He's just like, Beth just broke up, and oh, that's nice. As she's vacuuming, he's just so fucking clueless.
Right. I love
Not
that.
nice at all. And then that's when we the first suicide.
We get the
attempt
first, suicide attempt.
where he's gonna hang himself, and that's one of my favorite scenes ever in this movie, just because again it's that whole like that realization, like, whoa, no, like this is death. This is right. I haven't been anywhere. I haven't been to New York. I haven't been anywhere. Like comes this realization of like what he's doing is really fucking heavy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And then his mom just busts in with her big ass and knocks him off the thing and almost kills him.
yeah.
It's just.
But
yeah.
he's safe. He's safe. He doesn't
Yeah.
die.
I will say also, I also thought that this was a moment where it was going to be one of those purgatory movies.
Yeah.
A real monkey
he died
bone?
there in real life, and then he has to go back through it again
Real
and
monkey
make
bone
the
kind
right
of thing.
Yeah.
It's like Groundhog's
Monkey
Day.
Bone.
He
That's
has
the
to
one I
re-
was
he has
thinking
to
about.
relive
Not Groundhog's Day. Monkey Bone.
He has to relive that day till he beats the 58-second run. Monkey Bone.
Monkey Bone. It's the one he came up with, the most popular one.
I can't believe you even thought about Monkey Bone.
So I don't know why
Where'd that-
Monkey Bone just
Have
hit
you
me.
seen Monkey Bone?
I've seen Monkey Bone I've seen Monkey Bone more than I've seen this movie. I've seen Monkey Bone a lot for some
Why?
reason. I don't know.
Because it was one of the most popular films in the 90s,
I've never
guys.
seen it.
You don't know that?
Never seen Monkey Bone. I stayed away from it.
I don't think it was one of the most popular films in the 90s.
Okay, I was just joking, because I was
Okay.
talking about this film.
Oh, it was a yes and.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
Yes, ending all night.
Chris, you had a question?
Sorry.
Did I have a question about Monkey Bone? No, I didn't. But I did. I was thinking about what was the next suicide attempt that comes after that, which I think is the bridge, right?
Yes.
Well, the bridge is, but also we got to bring up now. This is when like the fun gag too that keeps on rolling kind of starts. I think it starts with this is the
It
math
starts with
teacher.
math teacher, yeah.
Math teacher, which this fucking scene is so goddamn funny to me.
I
because
really liked it.
I
yeah.
did too,
He's
man.
doing geometry and he's like it's like goddamn word poetry.
No, he's
Yeah.
just making it up. He's
I
literally. I
know.
feel like he's literally
Oh,
just
he-
improvising.
No, he's making stuff up, but that's this whole scene is supposed to be Lane's how he's interpreting it. So to him, it just sounds like a made up garbly gook or whatever. But yeah, he's just telling this tall tale of how this geometric shape came to be, and all the students are like laughing along with
and
the
they're, like,
story.
super into it, like
Yeah.
just super fucking into
Yeah.
it.
He said, this was your homework assignment, and everybody's like
Yeah.
pulling out printers and typewriters and like giant filing
Which I have
cabinets.
felt that way.
I have felt that way too. That
Yep.
Lane pulls out his. It's just a piece of paper that says "do homework" with a piece of gum in it.
It was a really masterfully done scene. I feel like.
Absolutely.
It is, and
Yeah.
at the end, it starts with his teacher asks if he could take Beth on a date, basically,
Mhm.
because they're broken up.
I got to give it, and this is a gag. They pull it out through the whole thing.
The whole
Yeah.
film.
And can I just say something? I didn't, like, when I saw it, I was like, I know that gag. That's the same gag they do in Can't Hardly Wait,
It is.
where they talk about Amanda, whatever her name
Oh
is.
yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, they like just ripped this entire fucking gag off.
I love
Because
how
this is pretty funny.
I love the extremes. That this gag, yeah, it keeps coming up throughout this film to the point where even Barney Flintstone, Or Flintstones on TV and Barney's like, hey, you mind if I take Beth out?
Fucking mailman ass. The mailman ass.
It's pretty funny.
That was a funny
What's
scene.
funny is a follow-up, though, is like the math teacher driving by.
And she's in the
with
car.
Beth in the car with him.
So it's like she's going on these dates with all these people too, which is really fucking funny. Because that's exactly how you think when a breakup too. It's like, of course she's just gonna date everyone. Of course she would be in the car. Like,
and everybody remembers the math teacher, right? Like from everything.
Yeah. He's been in just about everything.
Like I always will remember him as the ghost on the subway and Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
And can I say something? Every time I see him, I get really, really disturbed because I saw that movie when I was a young kid. And I remember that scene being like, this is fucked up. That guy's so scary.
He has a look you can't forget.
Yeah.
You don't know his name, but you've seen him in a lot of things.
So that guy, ladies and gentlemen listening.
100%. 100%.
What is that guy's name? Does anybody know?
Yeah, I looked it up.
While this is all
Leon Petrelli, he's like an Italian dude.
While this is all going on, there's also across the street from Lane is Ricky, and Ricky is mom, and they have a foreign exchange student that I'm pretty sure the mom got to pimp her son out to.
Yep.
Basically.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Fucking hysterical.
Yeah.
No, I got a weird vibe on this whole setup.
You should get a weird vibe on this whole setup because it is fucking weird,
It's
and that's
very
why
weird.
it's so fucking funny.
Ricky's like the fucking he's the outcast nerd of the city, it seems like.
He just
Yeah, I
stays
don't
at
know what's
home.
up with this
fucking
kid.
town.
He just stays at home and crochets with his mom. He's a mama's boy.
He's scared of his mom. Yeah, he doesn't go outside. Doesn't have any friends.
He
No
keeps saying-
social life.
He keeps saying that line. He's
But-
like, it's best not to
Upset
just
mommy.
upset mother.
Yeah, he's a real Norman Bates
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of dude. Yeah.
He is, and like, but his character takes this kind of arc, which is really great.
Yeah.
Like he goes from like being quiet, never standing up to himself, to like where he gets like really overprotective of Monique.
Mm-hmm.
And that gets funnier and funnier as he gets more protective of Monique. And so Monique is the foreign exchange student. She moves in and she pretends not to speak any English, so she does not have to deal with hoping that this family will get bored and leave her alone.
Mm-hmm.
They do not.
No.
His mother, Ricky's mother, is probably my favorite character in
She's
this movie.
damn near right up there for me too.
Like the way she's played and portrayed is so goddamn funny.
Her look, her mannerisms, it's such a big character.
Christmas
Squeezing
That
the
shit,
face.
Oh my god, so fucking good.
Yeah.
She's terrible. She's fun to hate. That's what's great about her character.
Why hasn't John Waters put her in a movie?
Right? That's what it felt like. It
Mhm.
felt like one of his characters that had like this disturbing motive of like, well, my son can't get a girlfriend on his own, so I'm gonna get one from him from a different country so she doesn't know he's weird.
A poor girl that's like already vulnerable being in this country. I'm like, as a
Who's
mother,
forced to live with
Yeah,
them.
these strangers.
It's a very, very
Yeah.
weird thing. But it's basically she was the one that called in for the mail order bride.
Yes.
And let's just say Monique is a very patient woman.
Oh, yeah.
Like very, very. She shrugs a lot of this off. When
She's got that
should
secret
not.
weapon of pretending like she doesn't speak English,
Well, there's more to it, guys. Monique is perfect in every way.
Dude, for real.
Like she can fix cars.
She's gorgeous.
She can fire an arrow.
She can ski like a
with
motherfucker.
precision.
She can throw a fucking
Lemon
like nobody's
Th-
business.
yeah,
Same,
I've
yep.
never seen a girl this
perfect.
adept at all things physical and mental.
Yet Lane,
Just like
French.
amazing.
Lane took forever to notice her. Took forever to notice.
He's going
her.
over the biggest breakup of his life.
Well, and she's just fawning from the window. So clearly, she just has
what's
a
funny
crush
is
immediately.
I feel like though it's brought out first of all just by like he's the only normal person I could see from my window, so I want to be with that.
Okay.
With the state she's in, but yeah, I think it definitely grows into.
I wasn't sold on why she would be so in love with him. I don't know. That just didn't.
What? Why? John Cusack's not a bad looking dude, or even
Yeah, but not so much about looks, just about him in general.
he's charismatic as fuck. It's John Cusack.
I don't know. It just seemed a little. I get it. I
Look,
get
he's
it for
a-
the
he's-
story's purpose
He's a
to have
good
this
guy,
love
man.
interest.
He's a good guy. He's got a heart. He's basically everything. What's his name? Hunter? Is that his name? What's his name?
Hunter.
Who's the main the bully?
I think
I
it was
don't
an
think he's-
instant thing.
I don't think he's that great of a guy. I think he is got a little bit of dickish to him. Because especially when she's like fixing his car.
Yeah.
He's just like, what are you fucking doing?
He was. And
Get away from it.
It felt weird.
Yeah.
It felt weird.
Can you even put this back together?
Hey, stop. What
Yeah.
are you doing? Stop.
And she fucking turns it on and he's like, oh, okay.
Okay, never mind. Thanks for doing all that work for me.
Yeah.
You want to keep doing work for me?
Now let's rub our legs together. Get over it, Lane. Come on. Be throwing yourself at this fucking woman.
That love was brewed out of fixing up a fine car, Chris.
I just
It
feel
wasn't
like
love at first
I
sight.
feel like she had to fight too hard for somebody who I felt was like kind of like he was.
I can see
I
that.
liked him, but he
I can
was
see it.
unlikable in some cases in this film.
Chris was in love. I think he was just in love with her.
He's
It's
like, she should
why
be
would
with
you
me.
go for him?
My favorite.
Why him?
I'm
Could be
way
me.
better. I'm so much better.
Chris, it's a movie. It's a character.
Yeah,
This
Chris
happened like
is,
30 years ago.
You weren't born yet.
Monique, why him?
I have a shot. Why can't you love me too?
He's just screaming. He's on his roof. He's screaming it into the night. Monique!
Desiree's just inside pissed.
Yeah, like, who the fuck is
Who
Monique?
the fuck's Monique?
Jesus.
I don't think
The
he can
comedian?
knows.
The
Desiree,
comedian
can I
Monique?
call you Monique?
The comedian Monique? He likes Monique?
It's all right. I mean, she was great and precious.
She was great.
She was. She won an Oscar. Anyways.
I wasn't ready for that one. That one got me.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
no, Roy. Getting into Roy. Roy is your typical '80s fucking bad guy, and he plays it perfectly.
Smiling
dude.
a lot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's a smirky
Laughing.
bastard.
laughing.
that
Schwarm, what do you
feathery-
guys? Schwarm?
Smarmy.
Schmarmy.
He's really
Shawarma.
smarmy, that guy.
Yeah,
Schmarmy. Dick
Schmarmy.
bag.
he is,
He
dude.
is. He's the leader of the goons, you know, and he's the top goon.
Definitely the top goon.
He is, but he's like, I mean, ultimately, when it comes down to it, I feel like he's kind of like a one-sided character. You don't really get a whole lot of good shit from him. I think the thing which you brought up a little bit ago, Cody, and let's bring it up again, which is his interaction with Lane's best friend, Charles DeMar, which we haven't talked about Charles yet,
Booger.
who is played by Booger.
He'll never live it down.
No.
He'll never live it
No.
down. But like their interaction together, it happens a couple of times, is fucking hilarious. And
Dude.
the first one that you pointed out was the clipboard, right?
Yeah, the clipboard, and then the second one is I think when they're at the dance,
Oh yeah.
and he's like the shave a little closer, and he just fucking laughs in his face about how funny it is.
This is a really
And-
funny joke.
And but also just steals all the thunder from him.
Yeah.
Like it was perfect.
And then like while he's slow dancing with Beth, Charles just comes up laughing. He's like, shave a little, and it's fucking great.
Shave a little closer.
I love that character too, because like my favorite scene, probably one of my favorite lines in this movie is, "This is pure snow. Do you realize the street value of this mountain?" He can't find real drugs in this town, so he's like snorting snow.
I don't know why that didn't land with me that much. Like
I thought it
that,
was fucking funny.
the drug thing didn't land with me with him for some
What do
reason.
you mean, land with you like you thought it was funny? Or
Yeah, it didn't
Yeah.
get me to laugh
I didn't,
out loud.
at first, I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
Like, why is he like he's snorting Jello at one point in time?
Wearing a damn like Legend of Sleepy Hollow getup kind of thing, like a top hat.
Yeah, he
and-
was a hard character to figure out, and,
I
and he
loved
mentions
him.
that he was like, this is like his 8th year in high school or something.
Yeah, 7th. Lane, I have been going to this. I've been going to high school for 7 years, and I am no dummy. It's such a fucking good line. This movie has a lot of those, though. It really does. And then, like, yeah, as the movie goes on, too, it just gets kind of zanier and zanier. The newspaper boy keeps just showing up.
Lane keeps crashing into his boss, I guess, which we find out
he
later.
becomes his boss.
Oh,
Becomes
okay.
his boss later,
All right.
Yeah, he keeps crashing into the guy who owns the burger shop.
Yeah.
Because he's trying
Pig
to he's
burgers.
kind of he's trying to
Pig
race
burgers.
these guys who keep pulling up, and they've got a loudspeaker mounted on top of their car, and it's like the wide world
Like
of
Sam
sport.
Cassell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I can't. I'm not even gonna try to do it, but
Just- no, you
it's
should try.
fucking funny. I'll put it in a clip.
They have a loudspeaker that
Yeah.
basically they want to drag race him every time.
Yeah, and every
Right.
time his car's either in reverse or he doesn't realize someone's in front of him.
Right.
Yeah.
One Kyle, one race.
There you go.
Like, something like that. I don't know, Kyle. Just trying to help you out. Let's do this. Let's take a break. When we come
Thank you.
back, we'll talk more about Better Off Dead. Their new games are fucking knocking it out of the park.
No, they
Like
yeah,
11
even
Bought-
their
I-
new Mortal
you know what? I
Kombat's are
bought
good.
one of the new ones, and I was just like,
Which one? Deep versus DC? Did you do that?
no, it was Mortal Kombat X,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I played that one.
10s are good.
I played it. I was just like, meh.
The one you could play
10's
Freddy
good.
Krueger on is fun.
The best though, and it's not a Mortal Kombat game, but it's made by the same company and it plays just like it, is the fucking
Mortal Kombat.
the DC ones.
Injustice.
Yeah, Injustice.
Yeah.
Oh, those are so good. The stories
Those
are
are
good
fun.
in them. Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah, I wish they would do a Marvel in that style
Yeah.
fighting game.
Instead of like the Capcom versus Marvel.
Yeah, where instead of the animated, it's more like realistic, like they did
Yeah.
with the Injustice and shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like fucking Marvel vs. Capcom's a great game.
It's classic.
It is a great game, but I'm
classic-ass
just
game.
saying I would like to see,
It's up there with like.
where are we going to?
Smash
Do we take
Bros.
like a good enough break to clear our heads?
Here we go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we've been
Are
talking
we-
about Mortal Kombat.
Are we back? We're back. Okay. And we're back talking about Better Off Dead and Mortal Kombat. Nope, just
And to
Better Off
live
Dead.
without you.
Dude,
I thought that was a catchy ass song,
that
man.
song is the
Great
shit.
fucking
I was like,
song.
that's such
It
a
was.
good song.
I was like,
Also-
what band is this?
Also, by the way, you guys, the movie would have played probably better for you
Uh-huh.
if the movie had opened with that song.
Yeah,
Then you would have been like, oh, okay, I kind of get the vibe.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, they could have played it twice within the movie. I would have been mad.
No, I wouldn't
Other
have been mad
movie-
either. They
yeah.
could play 3 times.
That's the jam. That fucking dance scene with Ricky too is fucking awesome. And I love after
King of the fucking dance floor.
after
Yeah,
the
he had some weird robotic moonwalking moves.
And then he
It
did
was
that.
weird.
Then he belly flopped.
yeah, but after
didn't
the
get
dance, when he gets in the car with Monique and like puts his arm around her and then like locks hands and like holders in place, like is one of my favorite like drive off things too. Like that, it's just iconic to me. That image is just funny as fuck because she is just like, God damn it,
Drive off things.
drive off things. Dude.
Drive off things with
Top-
with cult film Cody.
Cody's top 10 drive off things. Thelma and Louise.
So should we get to the end?
That's number
Yeah.
10.
Well,
Number
what's
9.
the point? The point of the whole movie is he wants to win this race so he can
Get
win
Beth
the
right.
heart of Beth.
But he doesn't, by the time he's at this race, he doesn't really care about winning the heart of Beth back because he's got Monique.
Yeah.
Yes.
He finds love through her fixing his vehicle and him winning a race.
Yes, a drag race.
He
And-
finds love through her doing a lot
Yeah,
of shit.
well,
Yeah.
she does a lot of shit. He treats it to a fancy TV dinner meal
Yeah.
at his place of
Oh,
business
God.
where he plays the saxophone, does some sexy sax for
Oh,
her.
yeah, funny.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was supposed to be, but it was.
I don't think it was supposed to be either, but fucking hilarious.
It is pretty fucking funny.
He looked like fucking.
I'm like, is he still working?
Okay.
I'm like, is he still? I thought he got fired. Is he still working at the pig place? Because that's where he takes her to have the TV dinners.
He's still got the
This is a
keys.
pig
Still has
burger.
the key. I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think.
They broke into the pig burger.
Yeah, well, you got to do it. You got to do a grand gesture.
That's not
Breaking
good.
and entering is part of that.
So in all this time that he falls in love with Monique, boom, the race just comes up out of nowhere.
Yeah, next day, basically.
Next day. But he's got to get training in first, so we have to have a training montage, which means some sick ass ski moves between
Yeah,
him and Monique.
Some stunts.
Monique goes down first on the K-12 and shows him how easy it is. Gives him the same instructions that Charles does.
Yep. Go that way really fast. If something gets in your way,
Turn.
turn.
And it's the funniest fucking thing because when they start showing her skiing down, like she's got this white curly, big, like her hair's not like
Big
big
blonde
and
curly. Yeah.
and she's got this big white headband on. And you're like, well, that's fucking weird hairstyle for her to have just out of nowhere. In this movie, why would they do that? It's so that they could cover up the stunt man who's obviously replaced her on the ski down.
Yeah.
And it's fucking hysterical because you're just like, that's a dude. And that headband is holding that wig in place.
That's true. You can definitely tell there's stunt people doing
Yeah.
this, but
Way
also
to shoot around it.
there's a scene where little Johnny flies off the cliff. And he falls probably 50
Oh
feet.
my God, yeah.
You know, I was impressed at how long they held on this. He lands just fine in a nice snow patch.
I thought he was gonna hit a rock. Like
For
I was just like,
sure.
oh my god, are they
Well,
really
there-
gonna do this? They're gonna kill a kid?
There's a scene where Johnny's on the roof of Lane's car trying to get his $2.
Yeah.
And that one too, there's a couple cuts and it's just like, well, that's a full grown adult, riding on the top of that car.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
So I feel like I've heard people in, I guess pop culture say, I want my $2.
Yeah.
That's been referenced before, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I've heard that
Okay.
a lot.
And
Not
it-
a popular movie though. Go ahead.
What's that?
Not a popular movie though.
Well,
Pop
yeah, I'm
culture.
just
pop culture everywhere.
trying to clarify is
Pop
that's
culture everywhere, Chris.
obviously from this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
You're
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Very popular movie.
$2.
I didn't say it was unpopular.
Chris, what?
I said I didn't know it was.
Whoa, Chris. Calm down, dude. No one's attacking you right now.
Did you just
All
guess?
I thought we were in the bro zone. I thought we were in the safe zone. Okay.
I'm sorry, is this not the nest? I thought we were in the
yeah,
nest.
I thought we were in the fucking nest.
Did you just gaslight him, bro?
Yeah.
So he basically what happens is after he's done training, him and Monique fall on each other and giggle because you got to have that moment.
Yeah.
And Charles comes up and is like, "Hey, dude, you got to go race," and ends up skiing over Lane's ski and breaking it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so now Lane has to figure out what he's gonna do.
What's he gonna do?
Meanwhile, Ricky or
Johnny
shows up with fucking skis on his bike.
Bike ski.
Bike skis.
How many bike
And
skis?
it's so fucking funny to me that he skis downhill to go up to the K-12.
Yeah, that's a weird. It's a weird cut. It's
Yeah.
a weird cut.
Yeah, it is
so
a weird
weird.
cut.
It's so weird.
Because he basically chases him like downhill to the K-12 where he races Roy
to the top of a mountain?
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't make any sense. He races Roy down the K-12 with 1 foot.
On accident, kind of. It's just he's trying to desperately get away from Johnny.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, okay, this is something I had a little bit of an issue with. I know it's like just a comedy, like a goofy comedy or whatever, but it's like this person is so desperate to get away from a little kid who's demanding $2 from him that he has no fear to throw himself off of a mountain, 1 foot, 1 ski. You know, this is what actually like propels him to victory. It's not like that he's necessarily skilled.
I gotta say,
It's almost like
this kid's
slapstick
terrifying.
accident kind
This
of.
kid is terrifying. Did you not see the scene after the dance when there's like 400 paper boys chasing him through?
Great scene.
through
we didn't
the
talk
misty
about.
woods.
That scene is so fucking awesome.
I loved
the
the way
lighting.
that was
is-
shot.
The paperboy like team unrelenting.
I'm gonna tell you right now. This is the scene where he's chasing them down the ski hill, whatever the fucking K-12.
K-12.
K-12, bro.
The end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I was in stitches.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was laughing so hard at this kid on this
like, no
ridiculous
fucking
bike
way.
mechanism,
No
being like
way.
$2.
Charles is like, he's on 1 ski. There's something following them.
Just $2. That dude, I was really laughing.
Roy's
hard
like, get
through
out of
this.
here. What are you doing here? $2.
And here's the thing, I didn't think the joke was really that funny for a long time.
Yeah,
and
I
when that
agree.
happened, it paid it off so much.
Yeah.
Like dude.
All I could
Funny.
think was the whole time watching it, I was like, Jesus, dude, holding your leg up for that long would hurt so bad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, like, there's no way you can beat a guy on 1 ski. Because every time
I
I
was
touch
thinking-
his foot on the ground, I was just like, well, that slows you down.
Yeah, but the 1 ski I think
Yeah,
has
of
less
course.
friction than 2, so he has a little bit of a speed advantage.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe? I don't know. Is
Also-
that a snowboarder?
also,
a
he's the-
snowboarder might agree with you. Those dirty snowboarders.
Also, he's
This is
a,
thinner than a snowboard, so even less friction.
You know what?
This is the
Two's better
fastest-
than one. What do you have to say about that?
Fastest ski
Prove
in
that.
town right
Math.
here.
Whoever pulled that stunt off did a damn good
Yeah,
job.
he did.
I'll
He
say.
did, though. He
Yep.
did.
and Lane ends up winning, and Beth runs over, and the weird thing is like Monique just stands in the back. I thought that
Yeah.
was weird.
Yeah, well, what's also weird is that he instinctually like kisses Beth, knowing that he's kind of dating Monique already, and
I
I'm
feel like
like,
he's just
what?
taken up in the moment.
I don't know. I mean, that's weird. I still think.
I thought that was kind of weird. I did scream at the screen at that point in time. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
No,
Like,
I think that's what.
I got like super angry about it because I was just like, he's right there.
I think that's what you're supposed to say because even Lane says that.
She doesn't react
Basically.
harsh enough. She's just kind of like, oh, what, you know? And
I guess I understand.
Yeah,
Goodbye. Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's like such a weird.
she's
I don't
way
know.
too nice to his ass in this movie.
And he just comes back, makes up, no problem.
Well, he has to fight for her freedom first.
Yeah.
fight for her
In
freedom.
a very
Oh, true.
very epic sword battle with
That is
Ricky.
true.
Ski pole battle.
Ski pole battle.
Which is
true.
with
Fucking
Arthur.
hilarious.
I want to call that kid Arthur, not fucking Ricky.
It's Ricky.
It's Ricky. It's a great fucking scene.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's what this movie was missing. A sword fight.
Yeah, a sword fight with skis.
Yeah.
and then you know the movie ends where Monique has always wanted to go, which was the baseball stadium
Mhm.
Yeah.
with the
Whoa.
fucking
No game.
the fucking newspaper kid. riding his bike towards them.
I want my $2 comes up at the last second.
That made me laugh again. Yeah. I was like, I'm so happy I stayed for the credit scene. Like, because when he starts biking up, he's hauling ass. Like, I don't think it's Ricky. I think it's just like fucking like a young Lance Armstrong. Like fucking like, get this kid, man. He's a beast. I was like, they're dead.
What? What do you guys say we rate this Mammer Jammer?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Kyle, what do you want to rate it?
$2.
$2 bills?
Yeah, $2.
$2 bill?
It's going to be hard.
I'll do a $2
I give it
bill.
$5 $2.
Do a $2 bill.
Got it.
We're going to do $2.
No, it's a $2 bill.
It's a $2 bill is what we're doing. Okay.
Bill.
Here we go.
We're going to do a bill.
All right, guys, what do you say we rate this Mammer Jammer?
I'm ready.
Kyle, what are we rating it?
We're going to rate it $2 bill.
$2 bill. Let's start with one of the first timers. Let's go with... We went with Mike first last time. Let's go with Chris.
I enjoyed this movie. I had fun watching it. I'm glad I saw it. I remember being curious about it when I worked at the video store. But again, it just wasn't something I felt like I had to rush to see. I thought it was maybe just another cog in the 80s teen machine. And I'm glad to say that it's actually not, and I think its weirdness sets it apart from a lot of the other ones. I will say I'll put it in a similar camp as Heather's, like with the kind of offbeat side of it. You know, it's obviously a dark comedy dealing with suicide. That's kind of like, and they try to make it funny in some parts. I don't know if it's funny. I don't know that I laughed at all the parts that you're supposed to laugh at in this movie. So some of the jokes didn't land 100%. But overall, a pretty good watch, and it does stand above probably a lot of the other comedies that were coming out around this time. John Cusack is very young, and he does, I would say, he carries the movie. Like he, you know, obviously he's the lead, but he does carry the movie well, and he makes it fun in every scene that he's in. I heard he had a terrible reaction to this movie when he saw it. He hated it, and he did not like the director for like a year or two, and then I think they worked together again.
Worked. I'm like, yeah.
So, but he thought it was terrible when he first saw it. So. Yeah, but I actually had fun with it. I'm gonna give it a 3.5, barring another watch. It could go up. There were some parts where I was kind of like, okay, you know, it didn't really land with me. So 3.5 for now, but could go up.
Too low.
I'll go next. I'm at a 4.5 for this, whole point higher than Chris. No, this movie is just too much fucking fun. It is like a cartoon. I think that's why I like it. And the fact that it is so different from your typical 80s teen comedies that you get, I think is another reason why I like this one so much. It's inventive. It's original on a subject matter that's not so original, right? Breaking up. And it takes a new take on the 80s, like look at, not even the 80s look at it, but a new, like the teen look at it, as far as like actually being devastated by a breakup and thinking your world is over and like, yeah, wanting to, you know, I almost feel like it was like I had these thoughts, but I was never serious about them, and then I turned them into a joke, and that's how like the writer was thinking.
The writer's the writer, and yes, this is based on a breakup that he went through.
Okay, so yeah, that totally makes sense to me. But yeah, I say watch this movie. John Cusack is charming as fuck in this. It's peak Cusack, I'd say.
Peak Cusack.
Yeah, peak Cusack. Line delivery is total Cusack. You know. The whole movie is Cusack.
So Cusack.
It's very Cusack. But yeah, no, for me, 4.5. Watch this movie. 4.5, $2 bills. Mike.
I'm gonna give this 3.5. I was pleasantly surprised with this film. I thought it was very funny, but I will say on a negative end, I did think that like the cartoonish kind of gag stuff, like I think we all picked the best ones, but like this film keeps bombarding you with them, and some of them don't hit. And you're kind of just like, all right. And sometimes it drags the story along a little bit. That was the only thing I would say is where I maybe differ with you guys. I wouldn't say this is peak like Cusack. It's like not must love dogs people. But I'm glad somebody knew that movie. But it's a good one. It's a good one that I never got to, and I actually am disappointed that I didn't because I think this is a very unique film.
Oh,
that sounds like a dig at the film.
Yeah, that sounds like a dig.
It's a very unique film. Yeah. No, I mean,
we can have this argument again.
Very, interesting words. No, I mean unique being that I think that it's not like any other film I've ever seen.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, that sounded.
Kyle?
You really wrap that one up, I guess. I'm coming in at a 4.5 on this one. I've always enjoyed this film. I do love the, like Cody pointed out, like it's incredibly creative in telling a basic story, and the slapsticky, cartoonish stuff. I will say, on additional watches, I feel like they play a little bit better because you're really anticipating the style versus being kind of bombarded with it. On your first go around. Mm-hmm. Like this movie, I find myself enjoying it more each time. Like this watch through was the first time I started noticing like the father's kind of deadpan dry humor in his response to certain things. So it's like each time I watch the movie, I've kind of picked up on some other little humorous moments in the film that I get more value out of it. So I don't know what else to say. I'm a big fan of John Cusack. I do think this is probably one of my favorite films of his, actually.
Again, it's no 2012, but...
It's no 2012. Roland Emmerich wasn't helming this one.
No.
But, overall, I thought a great film with a great $2 gag that goes the entire fucking movie, and I highly recommend everybody check it out.
It has a little bit of flavor to me, like this dash of Mel Brooks humor in it. You can see that was probably somewhat of an influence to me.
Yeah.
There's certain jokes in there that just hit like Blazing Saddles.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but
no.
No,
it's not.
Thanks, Chris. That is our show for this week. Do us a favor. Head over to iTunes, leave us a review. If you do, we will give you a shout out at the end of the show. Then when you're done with that, head over to cultfilminreview.com. Make sure you get in requests for films for us to review, and then check out our YouTube page. Remember, we will be going live next week to talk about Better Off Dead with you. You can make sure you follow us on social media so that you get all that. It will be with Kyle. Make sure Professor Kyle be showing up, lay down the knowledge.
I'm gonna put my lab coat on and everything.
Lab coat and everything. So make sure you guys come out for that. It should be a really good time. You don't even have to go anywhere. You can just do it from your living room. It's pretty easy. And then you can follow us on social media at Cult Film in Review on Facebook, Cult Film in Review on Instagram, CultFilm_review on Twitter. You can follow Kyle.
You can follow me on Instagram at CultFilm_Kyle.
You can follow Chris.
CultFilm_Chris on Instagram.
Let me finish my shit before you do that. You can follow Mike
at Mike Salustio on Twitter.
And you can follow me at VJustCollect on Instagram and Snapchat. That's our show for this week. Remember, if you're going to join a cult, make sure they watch good movies. We'll see you next time.